our next recipe is an apricot orange cashew bite. And what I love about this is that it's no bake. So this snack, having trouble with my words today, huh? This snack provides a great boost of fiber and protein at any time of day. And the whole grain oats are loaded with soluble fiber. So we'll talk a little bit about soluble fiber, while the cashews are packed with protein and healthy fats. And then the dried apricots round out this snack with a touch of natural sweetness from the fiber, from the fruit. Yeah, go to it.
Beautiful. All right, and I'll mention as well, if anyone watching does have any questions for Daniela or myself, please feel free to ask in the chat. I think we already have a couple that looks delicious. So a couple that looks delicious comments that we'll take as a thumbs up. But yes, if you have any questions for Daniela or myself, you can ask in the chat. Okay, so on to, these are our, yes, our apricots, cashew, what else did we say? Apricot, cashew, orange bites. So we've done little snack balls, little energy balls. I'm sure you've seen them on recipe blogs, cookbooks. We love them just because they're super convenient. You can customize, right, to add, I guess, more protein, calories, and we'll get to that as we go along. But I love that they are pretty compact, and you can put them in the freezer, make a big batch, and that way you're not spending a ton of time worrying about where I'm going to get a snack, or run pick up something that's packaged and maybe not the best for you. So we're going to make this really great snack option, and we're going to be using apricots. So we're using, usually when we've done them, we use like dried dates, or like we've done them with prunes as well. Apricots is one that we've never tried using, and I love the idea of that little bit of sweet, a little bit of tartness to go with the cashews and some of the other flavors in here. So first thing we're going to do is add some cashews here. So I'm going to go for about a cup, and you can see I'm not really measuring this. This is one of those recipes you can, it's very forgiving. You can kind of do by eye. I guess the most important thing is we are using a food processor, because we do want to mince everything up pretty fine so it comes together. You can do this if you have like a wider base blender, and just do it in like smaller batches so that you don't overload the blender. But it definitely works best in a food processor. All right, so unsalted cashews, they don't have to be soaked or anything like that. But a cup, we're going to go with half a cup of oats. Now these are large flake oats, but any rolled pressed oats will work in this. Just not steel cut. Definitely don't use steel cut. You'll be chipping your teeth. But any pressed oats, I'm going to go for about half a cup in here. And then for our apricots, so these are dried apricots. I'm going to go for about a cup of these in here. That looks like about a cup. Those are the three sort of main components. And then for some additional flavor, we're going to add some ground ginger. And again, I just love the combination of the little bit of the heat that you get from the ginger and the sweetness from the apricot. You can use fresh ginger in this as well. It's not as punchy as ground. So if you like more of that heat from the ginger, I suggest going with the ground. If you like a little bit of the lighter ginger flavor, it has more of that like fresh kind of vegetal quality to it, then just grate like about a tablespoon of ginger root right in here. And then we're going to use an orange. You can use even like clementine, mandarin. And I'm going to go with the zest and the juice. The zest is really going to amplify that orange flavor, because that's where all those oils are. So make sure you wash, obviously, the citrus really, really well. And I'm just using a fine grater. Just the outside of the orange we want to take off on there, so you can see that orange zest. Push it in. And then I'm also going to add the juice. Now, my intention is to freeze these. Anytime I make them, I do freeze them. I put them in the freezer. So that's why I'm adding the juice. If I didn't want to put them in the freezer, and let's say I just wanted to kind of store them in like a Tupperware, put them in the fridge, maybe omit the liquid, only because it's going to make it sort of spoil a little bit faster if you have that moisture in there. For these, again, I love putting them in the freezer because you can just enjoy them right out of the freezer, and they only take like a minute to thaw. So I'm going to go in with this whole orange, or about like 2 to 3 tablespoons of the juice. There, watch quick.
So the great thing about them only taking a minute to thaw is many times, like you may be coming home from having had your treatment, you have a little bit of an appetite, it could be fleeting. Just knowing that you have these in the freezer and you can pop one in your mouth quickly is convenient way of getting those extra protein and calories if your appetite is low. The other end of the spectrum, if you are starving and want to eat everything in the house, this will be your great snack option because it'll quickly fill you up with that fiber and protein and help you curb your hunger until your next meal comes around.
Awesome. I just muted myself as this was spinning, so not be super annoying. But here we go. So it's starting to break down. We're going to continue to go a little bit more. I want it to be a little bit finer. It should be like almost like kind of like a chunky, a little bit drier, but almost like a chunky peanut butter kind of consistency. But it'll be on the drier side. Again, because of those oats in there, which also like a whole grain, right? You know, that's going to absorb a lot of that excess liquid and a lot of the excess moisture. So it's not going to be sort of super wet or shouldn't be super wet to feel.
Yeah.
As you spin, the only thing I'll mention is you might need to scrape it down every once in a while, but it should take like maybe 2 minutes tops, 3 minutes tops. You can go ahead, I'm just going to continue spinning this around.
Going to continue spinning, yeah. So I was just going to say that it's right. The oats are a great source of fiber. A half cup of oats can provide about 4.5 grams of fiber and 7.5 grams of protein. Sometimes we forget that you can sneak in protein through your whole grains. And with oats, the type of fiber they have is soluble. So we've heard about all the benefits of soluble fiber when it comes to heart health, blood sugar control. The other thing we could say oats are prebiotics. So really, you've heard of probiotics. The other term now is prebiotics. Basically, it's feeding the prebiotics, not only feed you and keep your digestive system healthy, it also helps feed the friendly bacteria in your gut and keeps them flourishing and helping them do the work that they need to do to keep us healthy.
Okay, so it is done, and you can tell it's finished when you can like grab like a small little handful of it and see if you can press it and it holds. So you can see as I sort of grab a little together, it sort of holds its shape. That's exactly what we want. And again, if you want to roll it, get your meatball rolling skills out and just roll them into these like little golf ball sized bites.
Would that be a fun activity to do with kids?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
sure.
Get them eating healthy early, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you can train them to do more of the work for you in the kitchen, or maybe that's not the right way to phrase it, but get your sous chefs started early, I say. So yeah, we're gonna just roll these around, and you can absolutely, this is done. Again, no bake, like Daniela mentioned, like beautiful, really, really super simple. only one thing really to wash. We're going to wash this food processor, but otherwise pretty low in terms of the amount of work necessary. I made a few here. I rolled a few before. So these are good to go. You can pop these. Again, I like freezing them. But what I will do, and you can do them like this. Something I will do usually anytime I make these is I'll press them flat. This is the one I just made. I'll press them flat almost into like a little cookie. So like this. I use a fork because I find that even when I freeze them, if I take them out of the freezer, after like a minute, it's thawed, it's ready to eat. And I think, Danielle, like you were mentioning, like you can take this, put them in a Ziploc if you got to take it on the go, or you enjoy as you need.
Yeah, definitely. Many times people are waiting and waiting for treatments, and so it's good to have that little snack in your pocket. Well, not in your pocket, definitely wrapped up and stored properly, but to have it nearby with you.
Absolutely, yeah. So, and again, it might not translate that well through the camera, but it has this really, really awesome orange look to them. So pretty neat. And you can even again, if you want to fancy them up, toss them in some like shredded coconut or something, or chop up some pumpkin seeds. And, you can play with that a little bit, but really, really nice, really convenient. Apricot orange cashew bites.
Awesome.